Yo, people, what's going on? So, today's video is going to be a short and sweet one. Okay, so hopefully, it'll be packed full of a fair bit of value for all of you today. So as you can see from the document here, the title of this one, How to Take Your Lead Gen Game to the Next Level. So, I'm just going to quickly run through a few kind of pointers and tips that um, kind of I've learned over the years through practical experience, and plus that I've learned from mentors and just through different courses and programs and stuff like that that I've been a part of. Okay, so let's just dive into it. All these things had a big impact on me personally as well. So, as always with all my videos, I only teach stuff that I've personally done. Practice what I preach, basically. So the first one here, do it consistently. So for generation in general to be successful, you need to be doing it consistently. Okay, so this is one of the most important things I ever learned and realized when I was getting started in my business, my lead gen business. Was just the importance of doing lead gen consistently, so you've always got opportunities being added into your pipeline regularly. You might not have daily opportunities being added in, but the key is to have opportunities going in there regularly. But the only way you can do that is by being consistent, and that just means daily outreach. Like if you're doing outbound, back when I first got started, wasn't just doing cold email, which is what I specialize in now, especially as a service offering for clients and also through coaching, consulting, stuff like that. But I was also doing LinkedIn as well. I think I even remember doing a little bit of Instagram outreach, although that didn't last long. I just didn't like it. Cold calling, whatever it is you're doing, like you just need to be doing it daily, basically. So the easiest way to do it daily is to have targets. So it's like send 200 cold emails per day, send 20 LinkedIn connections a day, make 30 cold calls a day. So you have like your KPIs and you just got to track them, or you got to hit them and then track them each day in like a spreadsheet, something like that. That's what I've done previously. Today, this is much easier because of automation tools and stuff like that. So there's no real excuse to not do this daily, like do daily outreach, honestly. I mean, if you're not doing it daily, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, there's that many tools out there that automate this. Content as well. So if you like putting out content, make sure you do it daily. Like if you're like I'm on Twitter, for example, and obviously this video is going to be on YouTube and maybe some other platforms. You really want to just be pumping out content daily. And I've already kind of touched upon the next 2 points, or especially the third one here in regards to automation. The more you leverage like automation, the easier it's going to be consistent, because it basically removes you as the bottleneck. Like if there's no automation, you're going to be a bottleneck. It's just the way it is. So I mean, I just don't understand people who tell me they can't do daily outreach in 2023 with the amount of tools available. It's not like 10 years ago, for example. So, leverage automation, do your outreach daily across whatever channels you're using, post your content daily. Last point here is leveraging AI tools. I've only recently started doing this, mostly with Chat GPT, mostly for research purposes. So it's not really kind of like a consistency thing, but I guess it's just helped me in a way to be consistent, perhaps, just by helping with one part of the process with like the market research side. I would kind of honestly put that kind of down the lower tier of priorities for consistency. Really important, doing it consistently. That's what leads to long-term results and success. And one of the most important principles I've learned, this one here, outflow equals inflow. It's absolutely true in my experience. The more consistent outflow you do, as in putting stuff out there into the market, the more likely you're going to get something back as in inflow. That's definitely been my experience, and I know many other people who would say the same thing. So really important. Moving on to the second one, diversifying your channels. This is really important too. The way I first learned about this, I can't remember who explained it like this exactly. God, I wish I could remember the person's name to give them credit. But they explained it like investing. You're not just going to invest in stocks. You're going to invest in stocks, precious metals, crypto, and then not just one crypto, but multiple cryptos, like blah, blah, blah. Like you're diversifying your portfolio by investing in multiple asset classes. Same with lead gen. It's just diversifying your channels. So you don't just rely on one channel. We don't just rely on LinkedIn or cold email, one social media platform. You really want to use multiple. That's just kind of what's going to get you maximize those opportunities and give you the most likelihood chance of long-term success. So really important principle there. Make sure you diversify your channels. If you put all your eggs in one basket, it's probably going to come back to bite you in the end. Using a mix of inbound and inbound. So I've kind of touched upon this already. But yeah, you really want to use content as well. Like obviously, I'm an outbound lead gen guy, but content is important. Obviously, I'm not delusional. Inbound content plays a role. So it's just the way it is in terms of lead gen. So you definitely want to make sure you're leveraging inbound like content across social, whatever you're doing, putting helpful, educational, value, personality-driven content out there in addition to your outbound. Okay, that's what's going to lead you to the most success, essentially. Defining your ICP. So this is just a principle, basically. Like, amazes me how many people just brush over stuff like this. Like, yeah, you really just got to, this is a principle, like you just got to get clear on the niche vertical you're targeting, who they are, like their demographics, firmographics, that's like who they are, their job titles, geographics, information about their companies, so company size, company type, their industries, seniority levels of the decision makers, psychographics. So this is like the psychological stuff, like their biggest pain points, biggest challenges, their biggest frustrations, biggest worries, biggest desires. All this stuff is just fundamental stuff that you're only going to know from research. Okay, that's just all there is to it. I mean, I can't give you any shortcut. It's just through research. I mean, I'm not going to go into all the research methods now, but there's plenty of ways to do it. You literally just look at what people are saying on social media and comments, content, groups on Facebook, comments on YouTube channel videos, LinkedIn content. Like, there's so many ways to get this kind of info. Probably the best way, though, is honestly just speak on the phone to your potential ideal clients. That's really a good way to do it. So over time, this will change. Like, your ICP will probably change as you gather more intel, like sales intel about them, their companies, plus also as your offer improves, gets better. Like, so, this is fluid. Don't just think it's just like stuck in stone. But yeah, this is definitely a fundamental. Crazy to me how many people just brush over this. Like when I ask people like to tell me their ICP and how they built their list or something, and they kind of never think about stuff like psychographics, demographics, or they think about it on a very shallow level, and then they just get a kind of really poorly assembled list from some database, and then they wonder why their results when they do outreach is crap. It's like, well, you didn't really build your list properly because you didn't define your ICP properly. So that's the way it goes. So that's that one. Number 5, give the market what they want. So it's pretty simple. It's like you got to have an offer people actually want, which kind of then ties into research again. It's like if you're selling something no one gives a shit about, then they're not going to give a shit about it. Okay, they're not going to buy it. They're not going to get interested in it. So yeah, this is kind of offer creation, offer packaging, really making sure it's aligned with your ideal client, particularly with their like pain points, challenges, desires, the results they want, their kind of objectives, goals, stuff like that. That's really the key to this. So you need to make sure you're offering something that the market actually wants, essentially product market fit. And this is actually why I don't mind going into what are like saturated markets, because there's already some kind of product market fit there. It's just that you just need to be pretty intelligent and clever with how you position whatever it is you're selling. So it's going to be perceived as some kind of something different, essentially. So that's really important, though. You need to be actually selling something they care about. Kind of self-explanatory, really, but it's just a business principle. Personalize your outreach, number 6 here. So it is really important. You don't just want to like rely on scripts, templates. It's a huge mistake I always see people making. They just get templates you can find online, scripts, fill in the blanks, and then start sending, I don't know, hundreds of emails a day. And then they complain why it doesn't work. The reason it doesn't work is because you did not personalize your messaging around the persona or personas you're reaching out to. And again, it all comes back to number 4. If you don't know this stuff, you're not going to be able to personalize your messaging or your outreach accordingly. And this is the stuff that what they call is relevance. Like, what actually gets prospects cold, like cold prospects responding to outreach, is relevance, right? But you can only have relevance when you personalize the message based around what you know about them, the characteristics you know about them. So super important. It's not just putting fucking fill in the blank templates into some tool and sending it. It's just crazy. You can do that if you want, but I can tell you pretty much got no hope in the long term, at least. You might get some short term results, but long term, you're going to get nothing doing that. So, number 7, follow up with interested leads. Kind of goes without saying, you've got to be following up more than once. So you don't just send like one cold email, one LinkedIn message or whatever. Like, you definitely want to be following up. Okay, like it's just the way it goes. I mean, you want to be doing it in a way that's sensible, though. Like some of the follow-ups I see are just like, I don't know. I've had people message me on LinkedIn and then I didn't reply, and they sent me a second and third follow-up message on LinkedIn. It's just like Lee with a question mark, and my instant reaction is just like, fuck off. Like, why would you send that to me? That's not an intelligent way to follow up with someone. So you need to actually be intelligent. Like, you need to follow up. That's just a given, but you need to be intelligent, not just. I mean, to do that, just put someone's name in and send a message is just total spammy bullshit that you don't want to be doing. I mean, fortunately, there's a lot of bullshit out there being taught about this stuff. So, yeah, that's what you want to be doing more than once, but doing it in a way that's intelligent and has logic. Okay, positioning. So this is like a really deep kind of principle. Yeah, pretty much like, this is pretty much the key, honestly, to like almost like say almost business success to a degree. It's like, because in like you take my market, outbound lead gen. I typically work with marketing agencies. It's very competitive, but I've still found a way to differentiate my lead gen offer. And that's just positioning, like finding a niche within that niche is like positioning. It's like looking at the offer you've got and positioning it, like the messaging around it is conveying a certain perception that then makes the prospects think, oh, this is actually a little bit different to every other offer in this market. Yeah, I mean, I could literally do a pretty long video just on this, because this is so important, honestly, especially in markets where there's a lot of competition. Like, pretty much the only thing that matters is how you've positioned your offer. And that really comes down to, the differentiation, the alignment between your offer, the niche, and the ideal client profile within that niche as well. So this is super important as really one of the core principles for success with lead gen in general, is how you've positioned what it is you do in the market for a specific group of people. Okay. Yeah, but I just don't have enough time in this video to go through that. That's definitely on the cards for a future one, just a video purely on this topic. So that's pretty much it, guys. So it's a pretty relatively quick one. It's basically at 15 minutes for now. Actually went a bit longer than I thought it would. Thought it would be about 10 minutes. But there you go. Hopefully I didn't ramble on too much and gave you a bit of value. So that's basically it, guys. These are all kind of tips that I found have helped me personally in my journey in this online business game. That will, hopefully help you also take your lead gen game to the next level as well. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, subscribe to the channel, like the video, drop a comment if you got questions. That's pretty much all I'd ask, is that you would just, subscribe to the channel, follow me on other social platforms where you're on to show support, and that's pretty much it. Otherwise, thanks for your time, and stay tuned for the next video. All right, thanks.